Karina, thank you. And she just brought up the question, what does this mean? We want to turn now to Dr. Zuhdi Jasser, who is the founder of the American Islamic Forum for Democracy. You testified in front of Congress. I want to first ask you for your reaction tonight.
Well, I can't tell you what this means to all of us that have, when 9/11 happened, I've been wearing this for one of my patients from former NYPD officer that says never forget 9/11. And I think the 9/11 families now can get some closure and begin to see that the person, the barbarian that led these acts of war against our country has now paid the ultimate price for those acts. And I think we can begin to move on and shift focus to national security, to Al-Qaeda. You got the head of the snake, but it's like a hydra. There are other heads that we need to start looking at.
What do you think is next for Al-Qaeda? I mean, because it's been thought for a long time that Osama Bin Laden was not really the head of Al-Qaeda any longer.
Yeah, and I think we are going to be able to focus better on people like Imam al-Awlaki, who was an American citizen born here, who is now the biggest threat, I think, to our citizens, drove Nidal Hassan, drove the Times Square bomber, and others to do what they did. We see people like Adam Gaddan, who was also a convert from the United States, who's been the video face of Al-Qaeda. We see Al-Qaeda metastasizing into different forms on YouTube and in the social network media and others that they're hard to find. They've been fractured. There are other organizations that are taking over sort of the Islamist, anti-American, anti-Western mindset. So we can't only focus just on Al-Qaeda, but we have to look at the entire ideology.
What do you think this means for the Muslim world? You've testified on this very subject. Should Americans be fearful that this will further radicalize those who are already on the fringe?
Well, I think, first of all, you need to look, the vast majority of Muslims are right after 9/11 wanted to lead the fight, to capture him, to fight the ideas, and are just as elated as every American is today that our homeland has been protected against the biggest evil that we know of, the #1 most wanted on FBI. But at the end of the day, there's also many in the Muslim world that have been harboring ideologies that are against the United States, that are part of this ideology of political Islam. And I think what they say is they're going to be looking for a new leader. They're going to be looking for new ideas to lead and individuals that can fill that void. And I think we can't weaken our stances. We need to continue to know that there's a significant threat. Radicalization on our home front has been the greatest ever in the past 2 years. We've seen more threats, more attacks in just the last 24 months than ever before. So we can't be complacent to say that because now we were able to close this chapter that Al-Qaeda or even militant Islamism is gone.
And Dr. Jasser, I want to keep you here as we continue to look at these pictures, very dramatic pictures. You are looking live outside the White House. When President Obama first made this announcement, there was about a dozen or so tourists, I understand. This has grown as you see hundreds and hundreds of folks out in front of the White House right now, waving American flags. They have been singing Hey, Hey, Goodbye. They've been singing the Star-Spangled Banner. Dr. Jasser, when you see these pictures, what emotions does it bring to you?
I can't tell you. I mean, it's I served in the Navy for 11 years, and your heart goes out to all of those that have given the ultimate sacrifice, not only the families of 9/11, the over 3,000 that died on that day, but the thousands of soldiers that have given their lives in Iraq and Afghanistan, and they kept their eyes on the mission, and we were focused on finding the perpetrator. And today we see that we've brought him in a mission that has brought him to pay the ultimate price. And you see our countries coming together and spontaneously showing a resolve that we will stick together and remember the unity that brought us together on 9/12/01.
I think you bring up such a huge, crucial part of this story, and that is all of the men and women who have sacrificed, made the ultimate sacrifice. And I've interviewed so many military families who've lost their loved ones, who were so frustrated over the years because they said we took our eyes off the ball, or there was so much debate out there about why we are in Afghanistan. Tonight, do you feel that this is vindication?
I do. I think that ultimately they say that they will see that we have always had our eyes. I truly believe that our agents in the field, whether it's FBI or CIA or our military leaders, had their eyes on finding Bin Laden, but he was elusive. Who knows what governments were protecting him at times and others were not. So at the end of the day, we found him, we've targeted him, and he's paid the price of his life. And we can move on now to continuing to protect national security.
Well, let me ask you about the region where he was found. There's always been so much speculation about whether or not Osama bin Laden was hiding in a cave or living in a mansion, and why could CIA officials not track him down. So tonight we learned that he was in Pakistan, in fact, and that was somewhat surprising. So what else can you tell us about the area where he was found?
Well, I think it should tell us a lot that he was sitting in a mansion in Pakistan. We knew about it back in August, and it took us this long, as the president says, until we were able to do an operation to get him. And I think at the end of the day, it should tell us that, yes, Pakistan may be an ally in the war against terror, but at the end of the day, on the ground in Pakistan, it is extremely complicated. There are many different factions. There are those who appear to be with us and may not be with us, whether it's the intelligence agencies in Pakistan or others. So you see, we have our own interests there, and it took quite a bit of time until we were able to weave our way through the mesh, the complicated web of Pakistan's cities and towns and all the different tribes that protected him at times that we may not have even known where he was or what bunker he was hiding in or what mansion he was hiding in.
Well, it was a lot more convoluted an effort than perhaps it seemed on the surface. And tonight we learned that our special ops forces crossed the border from Afghanistan to Pakistan. They were working on some intelligence. President Obama saying that for the past few weeks, they've been getting some good intelligence, and he gave the order today to go in and fight perhaps to the death if that's what was needed. And in fact, that's what happened.
Absolutely. We also learned that not a single American lost his life
Thank God.
in this operation. And I truly believe that if we had ever had this opportunity, it would have been taken. But we finally had the opportunity. It was done immediately and done very appropriately and well.
Because the order has always been capture Bin Laden, dead or alive. And tonight, confirmation that Osama Bin Laden has been captured, or in fact killed, and the U.S. has his body tonight. Confirmation. Doctor, I want to tell you how much we appreciate you coming in tonight to give us your insight and share your thoughts as you're an expert on this subject. And it's been something so close to you for so many years.
It really has. We formed our organization, the American Islamic Forum for Democracy, after 9/11 to be the front line in fighting the ideas, to leading and show the American public that we as Muslims want to be the solution and want to see days like today come to fruition and show that we are not only want to lead the fight, but also be a part of the solution and know that this is not the Islam that we know, that in fact reform needs to happen, counter-ideology needs to happen, and you can only beat this from within. And that's what we're all about.
Let's hope from here forward we can concentrate on some unity.
Thank you.
Dr. Jasser, thank you very much. We'll take a quick break right now. And when we come back, we are going to talk to the mayor of Phoenix, Phil Gordon. Also, Mike Walkus is here to share some of his thoughts. But before we go, here's a live look again outside the White House. Hundreds have rallied showing support for the president and for the United States of America.